Good afternoon, Amarillo. We are here this afternoon with conversations where we're not here about a dialogue, but here about a dialogue and not about debate. We have here this morning Mr. Tarenzo Clemmons and Mr. RJ Soleyjacks. Good morning, fellas.
Hey,
Good
great
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Great morning.
They're here with a one-on-one elite men, and we wanted to have a conversation this morning about mentorship. And I wanted to just let them know, as us with one-on-one elite men, that we want to be mentors here in our community. We want to be a part of it. We want to be present, and we want to set examples for the present man and for the future youth. And so with that, I just want to jump right into asking the question, starting with Mr. RJ. Why is mentorship so important to you, sir?
Mentorship it's an important piece of, I believe, being a human and the human connection. I think that's something that we're losing in today's society, is the want to get out and do beyond what we can do just of taking care of oneself. Mentorship is a point where you've been able to control what you can control. You you know that your actions, your attitudes, your moods daily are all in check.
Yeah.
And now I can go out and I can help others uplift themselves and see what's possible in life. I think that mentorship, that principle of giving back to others, is something that we've got to pull back out and pull to the top of our list of what is important, and help others strive where we fail so that they can learn from our lessons without having to hit every branch on the way down to the tree of knowledge.
Wow.
Wow, that's powerful. That's awesome. That's awesome. And Mr. Tarenzo Clemmons.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, why would mentorship, in your eyes, be very important here in the community?
Well, mentorship would be super important in my eyes because, first of all, I have 3 children. So I have a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, and a 10-year-old. My teenagers, they're boys, and they're becoming young men. And what happens is that a lot of times, if you have teenagers, what happens is what you begin to understand is they think they know more than us, and they think they've seen more than us, and they begin to call things out as if they know more. So what we have to do in those times is we have to be able to reel them back in, not based on how much we know, but really trying to understand them. And then, grab a hold of them and what they think they know, and pull them back in and give them some knowledge in terms of what we see and how we see it, knowing that we're not always correct, we're not always right, we always don't make the right decisions. But at the end of the day, we can give them a different perspective. And that's what's important. The understanding, as we talked about in another segment, the understanding and the unity is important. It takes a village. We've said that for years, but a lot of times we don't know what that looks like. And for us, we really have to understand what does it look like when we say it takes a village. If we saw it before, we have to be able to create it again for this Generation Z that is coming forward. As Curtis said in another segment, this Generation Z is all about visual. They learn visually, they touch visually. So at the end of the day, all of their senses come back to vision. So we have to be able to show them what it looks like, tell them what it looks like, be able to walk with them through it. Not acting like we know more, but just identifying with them and really touching them and really grabbing them by the hand and saying, hey, I'm willing to learn this again, even though you're going through it the first time. So that's why mentoring in our community is very and super important to me.
That's awesome, fellas. A lot of things that came in that conversation and what we spoke about was literally leading, showing, and guiding. And that's just mentorship to me in a nutshell. Sure. I wanted to ask you, Mr. RJ, as you being an assistant principal at Mesa Verde, and mentorship being something that I know you hold near and dear to your heart, what do you see on a day-to-day basis on how you can be a mentor to our youth?
Yeah.
I think one of the most powerful things that has hit me in the heart as an assistant principal and in conversations that I've had with young scholars is there was a second grade student who came up to me, and he was having a hard time in class. he didn't have lots of quality relationships outside of school. And the one thing he looked me in the eye and said is, I just want somebody's time.
Wow.
Wow.
And that is stuck with me. Is it's not always what you do or give to others is as important as just quality time spent. So we were able to make a plan where he was able to handle some business in class so that I could take some time outside of his school day, and we just went to the gym and shot hoops and just talked about the struggles he was having in life and things that he wanted to succeed in. And this is coming from a second grade student, all of 8 years old, 7, 8 years old.
Wow.
That's huge.
And him realizing that that's important, and that quality human relationship is something that he wants because he didn't have it outside of the school. So
That's
mentorship is huge to me, because it's not about giving handouts, but hands up to our individuals.
Absolutely.
And being able to pull them up to a level of being able to navigate the world successfully each and every day. So our students, they don't need lectures, they don't need telling them what to do, but they need a step one. And if we can start them with a step one, which myself again is the step one I praise and I push to kids, is control what you can control.
Yeah.
Okay, it starts with you. If you can control
Great
you,
point.
if you
Great
can look
point.
at your circle of control and say that I can control my actions, my attitudes and moods, but I can't control my parents' decisions, then things can get a little bit easier for a child to say that this is my life right now, but not forever.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's awesome. It's great, man.
And that's awesome. And in this conversation today, we've spoken about just literally being leaders and giving our time, and that equals to just mentorship. And here on today, in this afternoon, in conversations, here with Mr. RJ Soleyjacks and Mr. Tarenzo Clemmons.
Dude.
See you later,
Hi.
Amarillo.